being on first gear, and I don't know. I'm not blaming the bike or anything. What the heck? Why not? Woo-hoo.
The TTR 250. It might not be the prettiest bike out there. It's not flashy, it's not aggressive looking. And yeah, quote unquote, it's just a 250. But don't let that number fool you. This bike, the TTR 250 made by Yamaha, is one of the best all-around trail bikes ever made. And if I were honest, this is the perfect power if we can add this to modern dual sports, I would say.
That was pretty good. I liked it. This thing does pretty well. Alright, let's get down over here.
Out here in Colorado, you've got everything. Fast fire roads, rocky climbs, tight single track, and even some borderline hard enduro. But the worst part is elevation. It seriously robs power. And honestly, this is where the TTR 250 just works. That roughly 28 horsepower, give or take depending on where you look, is kind of the sweet spot. It's enough to cruise, enough to move when you need it, but not so much that it gets you into trouble quickly. And that's something you hear over and over from riders. A lot of people say this bike is just very predictable, and that's what I love about the Yamaha TTR 250.
You know, I'm a big advocate for low seat heights just because it makes things so much easier to ride. And sure, on paper, the TTR 250, it's pretty tall, but once you sit on it, like, I can almost flat foot. It's a little, well, I gotta adjust the clutch just because it's a little hard for me. I also had surgery, so it's a little tough to pull in the clutch hand, and I'm not very good at it, but it does give you some confidence to, you know, pop some little wheelies versus a full-size dirt bike. I would like to get good at those wheelies, but hopefully one day.
I did something pretty interesting. I took out my KTM 300 XCW 2-stroke along with my XR 200, and it didn't dwell on me then, but after riding them back to back and trying to do a timed lap, that's when it really hit me. I noticed in the videos, on the sharper turns at speed, I was a lot more confident with the XR 200. I was able to downshift, knowing I won't break traction as quickly. While the KTM 300 XCW, I noticed I was a little bit more timid coming into those corners hot, downshifting, and giving the throttle, because it's very easy to spin out that rear. And that's what I mean. A lot of people say this bike is just very predictable. Sometimes too much power for the average rider is a little on the bad side. It doesn't surprise you, it doesn't spike power, it doesn't wear you out. It just delivers smooth, very usable power everywhere. Which is why a lot of riders actually prefer it over more powerful bikes in technical terrain. Because too much power, let's be honest, if you're not used to it, that can kill your confidence really quick. And I know this firsthand because even the Beta Cross Trainer 300, the power is mellow, it's a 300 2-stroke. But I'd much rather pop my front tire over a rock with that versus the KTM 300 XCW. My confidence is just very different. And the TTR 250 definitely avoids that. It gives you just enough to handle tighter single track, climbs, and exploring all around, but stays mellow enough that you stay in control. And that's what a lot of riders describe it as one of the most confidence-inspiring trail bikes ever made. And if you can, slap on a plate, you can explore everything with almost a unicorn bike.
Wow, it tractored up pretty well right there. That was amazing. I didn't think it was going to tractor up that well. So here's a TTR 250. This thing has probably been crashed, and I don't mean like layovers, I mean like full-blown crashes. You can see this is all new up here. I don't know, probably over 100 times. This thing, every time, so what happens is every time they rent this bike, it gets dropped. They're not used to the dirt, so I think a lot of them, they're not used to the front brake on this dirt and stuff like that. But look how it looks. It holds up to some serious abuse. The only thing I don't like about the TTR is this right here. You know, I'm not a big fan of that. It is a weld point right here, but it's all good, you know, and the foot pegs are a little expensive, to be honest. Very easy to do maintenance. Another thing I'm not a big fan of is this guy. If you guys know anything about any sort of adapter or aftermarket part where I can just twist it versus the bolt, even better.
Now when you dig into forums and owner feedback, one thing becomes very clear. People really trust this bike. It's a Yamaha after all. You'll see guys talking about the rev ranges, durability, pushing the bike, and the general takeaway is always the same. It's not a high-strung motor, it's just built to last. It's air-cooled. Simple, it just keeps going. Now, I don't know if you guys ever worked on air-cooled engines versus liquid-cooled, but air-cooled makes things a lot more easier in your daily life, especially if you're busy and work full-time, like most of us. It's just a classic Yamaha simplicity. But let's be real, it's not perfect. After all, it is a 250 air-cooled engine. Now here's the downsides, where I notice it, and where a lot of riders mention it too, is on the long, steep hill climbs. Not the abrupt ones, but the ones where you really have to commit and stay on the gas.
Wow, it tractored up pretty well right there. Not as confidence inspiring as my two-stroke, I'm not gonna lie.
It doesn't have that explosive torque to just blast up in any gear. You definitely kind of feel it working, and I find myself staying in second gear, but I'm not a big fan of it. Being a bit more cautious with the momentum and staying up in the revs. It's not abrupt, but you can definitely feel it. It runs out of steam just a little. And on the steeper, long-going hill climbs, you start becoming a little more weary. But that said, it still makes it. And a lot of riders will tell you the same thing. You can always just adjust the gearing, swap sprockets, and make it better for your terrain. The TTR 250, the sprockets, they were all stock. I'm sure if I put like a 53 in the rear, then it can sing all day on second gear on these hill climbs. At the end of the day, the TTR 250 isn't trying to be the fastest bike. It's not trying to compete with the modern race bikes. That's not what it's trying to do. It's just trying to be dependable, rideable with enough usable power, and this will be your true all-arounder dirt bike, or quote-unquote trail bike. And based on what riders say, and honestly what you feel when you ride it, it kind of nails that perfectly. It's still a lot of fun, it's very lightweight and nimble, and I can definitely feel it on the tighter single tracks. Although it's still quote-unquote a little heavier than your traditional Enduro 2-strokes, I didn't pay attention to it much. It still felt very nimble. If you guys have a TTR 250, mention in the comments below. Tell me what you like, dislike about the bike. I'll catch you guys on my next video.